Okay, no intro, just shooting right into it. Something that I want to talk about big time. So, let's just shoot right into what I'm going to talk about. Tournament fishing. Current state of it, why it's declining, because it is, why boaters are not showing up as much like the BFLs on the open level, and should you even bother getting into it, to be honest. So, first off, Mr. Castledine did a good video on it, and I was on my way home, and it got me thinking about it while I was driving, so I just kind of turned the music off, and I was just zoning out thinking, right? Between tournaments and everything else. And as much as I love doing tournaments, this is fun because I'm competing, and just like him, I'm a competitor. I want to compete, right? And yes, I would like to have a trophy on the wall, but at the same time, it's got to be sustainable, and there's got to be an even further goal than just a W or trophy on my wall, right? There has to be something accommodating that trophy, not just the trophy itself. So, the biggest thing that we need to understand now is the BFLs are declining, straight up. He was going through the statistics that he did. I'm not going to try to rehash them, but I'm going to go over them boldly so you guys get it. From 2002, the BFLs on the same lake in the same division in Texas, they had 10 boats at that tournament. In 2023, there was like 100 even. This 2024, there was just under 100, and then this last one, there was 86. So yes, it's declining, and the guy that he knew won it, and only took home about $3,000. Now there's contingencies you can use to get the money up, but you also have to pay for those contingencies, which is more money out of your pocket in the end of the day. And there's no guarantee you're going to get that contingency anyway, because you've got to win it. So there is a decline. So now let's try to pinpoint why there's a decline. Let's not just speculate on it. Let's actually go on and let's try to narrow it down, pinpoint it to the best we can. I think there's 5 factors that we can look at and need to eliminate, right? Economic, co-anglers, the young crowd, the old crowd, and technology, unfortunately, which I'm going to fall under lack of diversity, or meta, if you will. So we're just going to eliminate them real quick and try to pinpoint. Economy. I agree with Mr. Castledine on this one. It is not the economy issue. Because even lakes around here, I go out and there's fishermen everywhere. And these are small lakes, man, and there's fishermen everywhere. Every time I go out, I gotta dodge anglers fishing, or there was a spot I wanted to hit, and there's a guy there already. So it's like, there's no way it's an economy issue. And then I looked up boating sales around the United States, and they're still about where they were 2 years ago. So it's not a boating issue. No, it's not a economy issue. We can eliminate that now because the people have the money and the desire to go fish. So it's not that, right? So co-anglers. This might be a me thing, but I've never had an issue with a co-angler. All the co-anglers I've talked to, cool, whatever. Now, and I do my best to make sure they have productive water. They're pretty respectful to me. I've never had a bad one. So I don't see the co-anglers being an issue of letting some random guy on your boat, because most of the time they're pretty respectful, right? They're there. They understand it's not their boat. Respect the boat. It's the winning guys, the tournament guys, the boaters tournament. He's going to try to do his best to put himself on productive water, and you can make do with the productive water on the back. There are the assholes out there who don't give two craps about the guy in the back. And as far as they're concerned, they can just leave him there and say, screw you, bud. If you can't catch a fish, that's your fault. So, but I don't think it's a co-angler issue at all. I mean, nothing points to it. There's not enough talk about it to narrow it down to it. So it kind of narrows that down. And then a lot of the older crowd are saying it's the young group. So now we've eliminated economy, co-anglers. So now let's go to the young crowd. Is it a young person issue? Not so much, because we've had young people in tournaments way before. It never affected anything. Yeah, the older guys are getting upset because the newer guys are doing things that they're not doing. That's always going to be there. So how can that be the changing factor here? It's not. There's no way it is. I mean, you could make an argument that it is, but eventually it's just going to fall flat on its face. Is it slightly contributing? Sure. Maybe. A little bit. But I don't think it's the overall issue. Now the old guys. Me personally, as the group of the old guys, I can tell you that sometimes the older crowd, they're kind of annoying to get around sometimes. Sometimes. There's great ones out there that I enjoy talking to, but for the most part, me walking up and trying to just have another conversation with another boater, it feels like a one-way conversation. I'm talking, he's just kind of, okay. I get it, but I'm the new guy. I get that. But at the same time, the fuck? Have an opening conversation, guys. Like, be a little bit more open. Yeah, I'm your competition, but at the same time, I'm not here just trying to steal all your crap. I'm just trying to make connections and talk to people. And I've only had that issue with the older crowd. The younger guys, not so much. Those guys we sit and talk to. I can have good quality conversations with. So, okay. So, but I still don't think it's the old guys that are the issue. Yeah, they're a selective group kind of have a conversation with. You got to get yourself known to get in to talk to them, but that's not part of the issue. So we can eliminate that one. Last one, forward-facing sonar. Technology and lack of diversity in fishing approaches. Everyone and their dog, unless you've been living under a rock, knows that this has been a topic for a while, right? And on my first tournament this season at Grand Lake, that was 1st through 11th were all forward-facing sonar. Every one of them. And so it's coming to the point in tournaments where if you're not doing that, you're not competing. And for me, I'm stubborn. I don't want to go out there and do that. I mean, I've dabbled with it. I got it on the front of the boat in the Eagle Eye 9, but I'm not going to sit out there and dabble in it hardcore because it's boring to me. I'd much rather be flipping and pitching a jig or a Texas rig up on the corner, the back of this cove, or down deep, or trying my best to make a wacky rig work on a bluff wall at 30 feet deep, which I'm getting better at it. But it's not going to win me a tournament, right? And that's why I made the video Turning to the Dark Side, because I'm going to have to do that if I want to compete. And I don't blame a single soul in the world if they don't want to come back to fishing, because that's the only way to do it, to compete, to even have a chance at winning, is you got to look at this damn box for 8 hours during your tournament to make sure you have a chance to win the tournament. For lack of a better term, that's just asinine. So I don't blame them if they're not going to show up. Do I think this is going to get worse next year? Absolutely. It's going to continue to plummet. And honestly, good. Eventually it'll back these industries into a corner, and they'll have to make a decision and actually stick by their decision. Get rid of it or make it fully operated. at the very least, make it where it is limited to where you can't use it in BFLs. Doesn't matter how expensive your crap is. It's a level playing field on the BFLs. Level. All the way up to the All-American. Toyota Series guys, they can use it. Bass Pro Tour guys, they can use it. But when it comes to BFLs, make it an even playing field for the older gentlemen. For the guys who don't want to use it. For the young guys that can't afford it. For the people who don't know how to use it, or the people who don't or refuse to use it. Instead of making the guy that decides, yep, I'm going to use it, make it where he has the chance to win everything. This is supposed to be an entry level, right? Entry level BFL. That's what they're supposed to be. Entry level. You want more people to show up. That's what you got to do, guys. It's not that hard to understand. The majority of the group, the people around, don't like it. They have it because they have to have it. If you banned it from the BFLs and the BFL tour, holy crap, I guarantee you'd get more people back in the BFLs. Because you can have just Joe Schmo buy a $5,000 18-foot bass boat with a 150 on the back and he can go fish that tournament. He doesn't need all the fancy stuff up front. Simple, old school fishing skills in the BFLs. Now, with that, do I think... So we've identified the culprit. I'm convinced 110% that it is a forward-facing sonar and technology issue. Now, do I think you should get into fishing tournaments with the state of MLF and BFLs? No, I do not think you should. If you are an entry-level guy and you just fished a couple club tournaments and you come in here and you want to just do really good, you're not. Right? Straight up, you're not going to do good. You're going to struggle. You're going to have a lot of growing pains. You're going to be pretty much donating to the top 10% fund the entire time that every tournament you fish. There are the exceptions, but I'm talking about the rule. So for people wanting to get into it, why would you when the cards are so stacked against you that right off the gate, you're just donating money at that point and taking a trip? When you can take that same trip to the same lake, not worry about some call limits or whatever, and go out there and catch as many fish as you want, have fun doing it, and it costs you significantly less. And you're not giving money to some random schmuck who has way more money and time on the water than you do. Doesn't make any sense at all. So, no. So to recap, economy is not the issue. Co-anglers, I think, are not the issue, but they are at times troublesome. The young guys can be annoying, but they're not the cause of the issue. Old guys need to quit being so grumpy and actually relax a bit, but they're not the issue. It is a technology gap issue, and it falls into the elitism thing. But, so we've identified the issue. It's hard to argue it. You can argue it till you're blue in the face, but at the lowest level, that is the issue. That's why people aren't fishing them anymore. And the answer is no. I do not think you should be fishing tournaments. Especially if you're at a younger, like where I'm at, I shouldn't be fishing tournaments. And I'm confident in my skills of fishing. But no, and unless if you got less than 10 years fishing, you should not even bother. Don't waste your time showing up. If you ain't got forward-facing sonar, don't bother showing up, because you ain't gonna do it. It's a waste of your time, waste of your money. Can you still? If you're still goal oriented and you just want that trophy on your wall, go for it, man. More power to you. Is it a smart financial decision? Absolutely not. But it doesn't mean it's an illogical decision. You got your reasons to do it, go for it. Me personally, cool. Let it continuously get worse. Let it continuously get worse. Let the payouts continuously plummet. Let's do it. I'll just back out of the tournaments when they start getting too low for me. It's like, I'm done. I'll join them. I don't give a crap. I'll just wait for it to get better, then I'll come back. I'll wait for the rules to change to fit my narrative, then I'll come back. But until then, no, I say sit, let it wait. Wait it out. Eventually they'll pick it up. Because at the end of the day, you and me, we're the ones paying those entry fees. We're the ones getting the prize money up. We're the ones that are going to hurt the company the most if they don't just accommodate the majority instead of the minority, which they have been doing. They're accommodating the minority in their checkbooks. So the only way to put pressure on them is to, just like with my soldiers sometimes, threaten their money. You'd be shocked. Well, not my soldiers directly, but Article 15s. Pretty much you're threatening their money. That's the best way to do it. Especially those big corporations. The moment their wallets start getting a little thin, they start getting scared and make decisions. And you gotta do that. Business warfare, guys. Sorry. So with that, what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna take the rest of the season off. I'm just gonna go out and fish. I might do some local club tournaments if they're cheap. But otherwise, I'm not putting myself in a financial hole for the fact that I can't. There's no chance I have it winning. It's pointless, it's idiotic. It's a waste of money, waste of time. But what the hell? What do I know? I'm not an expert. I'm just a guy learning. Good luck. I'll talk to you later.